Top of the morning's fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counter Punch Boxing News, and this fight, a particular fight between two fighters, have been brewing. There's been talks about Jaime Munguia fighting Jared Swift HURD. The more I hear about this fight, the more it intrigues me. So why not have a video about it? Let's make a video about it because this fight is bound to happen. I know Hurd has been verbal after his win against Irislandi Lara. And, you have a new sleeping giant on the scene with Jaime Munguia, and Munguia wants to fight anyone, from Charlo to Hurd to whoever's there, Hurd is a beast. He's a stopping working machine. He kind of reminds me of Antonio Margarito. I mean, before he was exposed, with what he was exposed with, but his fighting style, like more like a Paul Walker style. He was a big Paul Walker like guy, but I think he was Paul Walker just actually was they really fought the same. I think as of now, Hurd has proven to have a better chin than Paul Williams. But for the most part, they're pretty much the same fighter. They throw volumes of punches. They fight like they're very short fighters, like tall action fighters, and that's really rare. Diego Corrales had that same quality. That's what made him exciting. That's why Jared Hurd will go far. Because it's all about the ticket sales. It's all about the exciting people. It's who's going to fill the seats. And I will say this straight off the bat. Jared Hurd was the first person after the Lara fight to say that Irislandi Lara hit him harder than any other person ever hit him. No homo. That was his direct words. Okay, his exact words. And I will say this. If he fights Jaime Munguia, that will be a war. But if he's able to get hit like he got hit with Lara, the outcome won't be the same. Okay, it will not be the same type of fight that goes 12 rounds. It won't. Now, the question is, will Swift's or Hurd's punching power, will his punching power be the same at that point? Will his punching power affect Munguia? Because, Ali, he's a good fighter, but he's not a puncher. We know that. He's not a puncher. He punches enough to keep you honest, but he's not revered as a power puncher or a boxer puncher. He's just a pretty good boxer, and he has good speed and good and decent boxing fundamentals. Okay? So, it's really a pick'em fight. I would give it a 50-50 simply because you got a guy that just destroyed Ali. But Ali, again, was coming from 147. He wasn't an original 154 pounder. He just took that fight basically because he was like, hey, he upset Cotto, and that's really his claim to fame because he was knocked out by Jesse Vargas, and Jesse Vargas is not even really a puncher. So, if you look at that and you weigh all these options, Jaime Munguia comes in and just destroys Ali. And then Hurd has a tough fight with Lara. Then you match these two guys together. You gotta ask yourself, like, who would win? And I think it's just, Hurd takes too many punches. Jaime Munguia likes to work the body. I see a great fight. I see another Paul Williams versus Antonio Margarito. That's what I see. A classic brawl. And then really who can impose their will on each other. And I don't really know who has the best skill because I think they're pretty average, and equal in skill because you have youth. They're both youthful. They're both strong. The physicalities are about the same. I think Munguia, I would give him an edge in punching power. You know what I mean? But it really doesn't matter. You can ask David Lemieux about how hard you get hit is where you are, can you effectively land those punches? That's the question. So That's what you ask yourself when these two guys fight. I hope this fight does happen because as boxers and boxing fans, we need a treat, and this would be definitely a treat. Um, what else? Jaime Munguia, he's good at cutting off the ring, but I don't think he has to do that with Hurd. I see a fight in a phone booth. That's what I see. I see two guys that are imposing their will on each other and making it happen. I don't know about a Gotti Ward, but because these are two big guys, you know what I mean? They're going to come in there 170, 168, 164. They're going to come in there big, and this should be a fight worth having, and I hope it does. I hope it does. Yeah. So a 50-50 chance of any guy fighting. And mind you this, I don't know if Munguia's chin will be tested, okay? But I will definitely say that Hurd's chin will definitely be tested by somebody bigger. That will be the whole question. Can Hurd take Munguia's punches? Because if he cannot, that will solve everything. Because it will be a matter of time before Munguia will catch him with a left hook or a right or or an uppercut or some devastating blow that puts him out because the punches will bother him. Because Lara is not a knockout puncher. He's a pure boxer that has a decent left hand. He has decent left hand power, but he didn't have the type of power that could stop Williams. That's why he lost that fight. He dominated that fight, but he lost that fight because he couldn't knock Williams out because he was not going to win a decision. So if Hurd got hit hard as he ever been hit in his career, that tells me that that Lara's punches bothered him. He just was strong, hungry, and just refused to allow that, or that punching or that punch or those punches to bother him or to stop him or to deter him, So I feel that if Munguia hits him, and it's a difference though, because Lara's a pure boxer, so he was able to punch over, into counter, into sharpshoot, into pot shot. Munguia's not going to be able to do that. So Munguia's going to be right in front of Hurd, and Hurd's going to be right in front of Munguia. That's how it's going to be. So the punches will land, but where will they land and how will they land? They won't land like Lara's punches because Lara threw punches from angles, and off of his back left foot, like the uppercut, which is a forgotten Lara punch. So, and I know that hurt. That I could see it. I seen Hurd kind of wobble just a tad. Like, anytime a person gets hit, you watch the legs because the legs don't lie. I've been saying it again and again. That's what you look for when you look for a person being hurt. So that left uppercut did affect him. So I would like to know the way Munguia delivers punches. How will that affect Hurd? You know what I mean? And vice versa. Because Hurd can, I feel that Hurd definitely punches harder than Ali. So, but really, basically, none of these guys. I mean, when I say none of these guys, I was referring to Ali or Hurd. They're not knockout punchers. Hurd gets you out of there by accumulation of punches. Jaime Munguia, I feel the way he put Ali out. It could be a little premature right now because, again, we haven't seen Munguia fight someone like Jermell, or, someone, or, I want to see the Smith fight, and the Smith fight is made. So, but I want this fight to be later in the year, okay? But, I would love to see these guys get in the ring together. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about it. Please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.